I can think of no more critical, pivotal moment in the golf swing other than impact than the change of direction, ending the backswing and starting the downswing. If you don't get things to fall right in line from the beginning of the downswing, it's very unlikely that you're going to redirect any of the energy of your swing to correct any of the angles or the flows of motion. So right after this, let's talk about specifically how to construct a perfect transition so you can have a ton of power, ton of accuracy, be consistent from day to day with your striking. Hey, this is Steve with HitItLonger.com. If you study swings on TV of really good golfers, especially historically through the years, people in the Hall of Fame that everybody has heard of, you'll find that there is a ton of variation in the backswing, in the takeaway, in the posture, in the plane of the swing, in the length of the swing, club face open, club face closed, myriad of different combinations of movement. However, you'll see that they're all in the Hall of Fame anyway, even with all that non-perfect motion that a lot of instructors are pushing you towards in the backswing. But instead, they start moving their swing down what I call a funnel, where all you've got to do is get your backswing into the funnel, into the top part. So there's all kinds of margin of error if they're pouring oil down through a funnel. You don't have to be that precise. The funnel is going to do the rest for you. The bottom of the funnel where the oil comes out is very small. It's very precise. There's no longer any margin for error. Now, that funnel is the transition. The transition will lead you into a good pivot, into lots of power, into a good swing plane. It is really a chain reaction of good events will happen once you have a good transition. No matter how bad your backswing is, you can almost save any backswing with an outstanding transition. Look at this video of Bryson DeChambeau doing long drive. Look how out of position technically he is at the top of his swing. He's way across the line. He's standing way up. Club is all over the place, but watch what happens as he sends his swing down a funnel. He ends up coming through the impact zone just as good as anyone out there. And let me tell you, this guy will put it 370 yards into a teacup 7 out of 10 times. All right, let's get into the specific motions that creates a perfect transition. So hopefully you'll arrive at a position looking something a little bit like this. You've tilted and turned the hips. You've maintained a reasonable bend at the hips. Hopefully you're unweighting your left foot and loading up on the right foot, which is what I advocate doing in the backswing. Now that you're in this position at the top, we're going to do 3 things. You can see here that my left butt cheek has rotated off the chair. My right butt cheek is applying the pressure into the chair and maintaining the butt line. My left foot is unweighted, my heel is off the ground, my knee is bent towards the center. The first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to step down onto my heel. Step down onto the heel. Unload the foot, lift the heel slightly, and then step back down on it. At the same time you do that, you're going to return the left butt cheek back to the wall. So now you have this kind of shortstop look, or the Sam Snead squat look, as now I'm starting to flex my right knee in. It was straight, and I'm starting to straighten the left knee. My knees are in the midst of a switch, and there it is. That photograph catches me in the middle. Looks like a Nicklaus squat or a Snead squat. Now thirdly, I advocate that you allow the torso to immediately start rotating. It'll get you back to square. Your buttons will be back to the ball again. So you turn your chest buttons at the camera, rotate back into this position. Now, I advocate strongly you practice these 3 moves on a chair or a wall so you can get them down very precisely. In golf swing, as in construction, I'd say measure twice to cut once. In golf, I'd measure 3 times because it's such a pain in the ass to have to go back and fix your swing once you've done it incorrectly 10,000 or 100,000 times. All right, let's look at the motion from face on now. I also advocate don't use a ball, don't use a club at first. Just against the wall or the chair, 2 butt cheeks back, pressure on the chair, wind up, unweight the left foot, tilt and turn the hip, gives you in a reasonable position at the top of the swing. Now, first thing I'm going to do is step down into the heel, not into the instep, into the heel. At the same time, return the left butt cheek back to the wall. Catch your knees in the middle of a switch if you took a photograph and you're in this shortstop fielding position, or a squat look like a Snead or a Nicklaus. Now, from this angle, you can see what's going to happen next, as now we are out of the transition and we're really moving into the downswing pivot. I'm going to continue to slide my left hip down to the post of the chair, roll this foot in. I'll be flexing this knee through, I'll be straightening this knee, and I'll be letting my torso rotate open as much as I can. And now my right butt cheek, as my left knee straightens, step down, double butt cheek, swing it through. Now my right butt cheek is down and around, orbiting around the posted left, dropping me into this kind of double play rock skip position. Really gives me a good run with my arms and wrists straight at the ball. Now looking at it from this angle, back up the line, unweight the heel, wind up the hips and chest. Now watch, my left butt cheek is down, underneath my right, and around, orbiting. First I'm going to step on the heel. Step on the heel like there's a bug underneath my heel, and I'm going to squish it. At the same time, my left butt cheek returns back into this double butt cheek moment. There's the squat position. Laterally keep driving the hip. Flex the right knee through. Rotate around this left post with the straighter knee. Looking like this just after impact. Something like that. Now the common errors that I will see, of course, are the early extension. You start off okay, but then both butt cheeks leave the wall and create a gap. And that, of course, is going to have a chain reaction effect. That suboptimal transition is going to get the shaft coming in out of whack. It's going to wreck the plane and force you to have to scramble and use your hands at the bottom to redirect the club face. The other thing I'll see is a golfer who will stay back and spin in a barrel off the back foot, making the right shoulder and hip go around the circle too level. If I was going to skip a rock from here, it would go plunk right over here and down and to the left. And so if you can do what I'm prescribing, first, no club or no ball. And then you can just do some easy swings so that you can focus on these steps, slow and easy, just a half swing. I'm just trying to knock it out there online. Switching posts, switching butt cheeks. Right butt cheek stays on. Return, left butt cheek stays on. So you're just switching butt cheeks, trying to keep the butt line fairly constant. Really sets you up for the club shaft shallowing, a maintenance of the forward bend that you started with at address, and it really will encourage your torso to wheel around the corner, thus preserving the plane and allowing you to build up arm and hand speed for distance. Now, through much diligence, once you're able to practice this enough to make it a reflex action, it is kind of the last thing that you can control on the way down. At that point, the club and the arms are starting to move even faster than your eye can keep up with. The whole thing is a blur, and it is simply impossible to redirect this once you've stepped down. There's not enough time to get a signal from your brain down to your muscles in order to redirect any action. You don't know what actually happened until you're replaying it and the ball is at least 60 yards down the fairway at that point. So that's why the transition is so crucial. Practice well, practice often. This move, step down, double butt cheek, pirouette on through. I think when you do this a lot, practice it with some small swings at the range, little by little, I think you're going to work it in to the rest of your golf swing, and it's going to be an enormous boon to your distance, accuracy, and ultimately your scores. Hey, I hope these tips really help. If you have any questions, please feel free to hit me up down in the comments section. I read every single one. Hey, thanks so much for watching. I hope I earned a like and subscribe. I'm Steve, and as usual, I'll either see you in the next video or I'll see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.